Welcome back to Natural Health KE, where we are two sisters who share the lessons that we have learned through our own health challenges, hoping that as we share, we will be able to help you navigate your own wellness journey. A couple of weeks ago, my sister Angela shared how a big part of her journey in conquering cancer included reducing her inflammation. And my name is Stella, and what I would like to share today is my own journey in reducing inflammation to help me overcome eczema, and how along the way that helped me reduce weight. Now, why have I chosen to talk about this topic? Mainly because a couple of my friends have been asking me to help them reduce weight. And so hopefully this will be something helpful for you. If you have been trying to lose weight and you've tried everything that you know and nothing has helped. Perhaps as you have tried to manage your own weight, you've looked at the things that most people think about. It could be you've been trying to exercise and nothing's happening. Or it could be you've been dieting over and over again and still that hasn't helped. Well, it could be that you have a problem with chronic inflammation. Now, scientists are discovering that there is a link between chronic inflammation and weight gain or weight loss. They are not sure whether the problem is the excess weight causing chronic inflammation or whether it's chronic inflammation that causes the weight. But what they do know is that there is a link. And if you do manage to reduce your levels of inflammation, you are more than likely going to be able to reduce your weight. I imagine you're probably thinking to yourself now, how will I tell if my problem is chronic inflammation? Well, the way to know if you do have a problem with inflammation, when you wake up, you're probably going to wake up feeling puffy on your face, or it could be that you feel achy, or and the achiness is not because of anything that you can identify. You could have joint pain. Now, as we talk about chronic inflammation, what you do need to be aware about is that inflammation is actually a normal part of our body function. And typically, acute inflammation is good for your body. It's a natural response of your body. But it's acute and it happens quickly and it comes to an end. But if your body continuing to experience inflammation over an extended period of time, that becomes unhealthy, and that's what we call chronic inflammation. Your next step would be to begin to try and identify why do you have chronic inflammation. Step one, look at what you're eating. Assess what you're eating. Is it full of sugar? Are you eating a lot of fast food? Are you eating a lot of fried food? Are you eating a lot of desserts? Sugar, refined foods, refined oils, especially seed oils, those are highly inflammatory to your body. Next, I would probably say, are you exercising a lot? Excess exercise is a cause for your body to have chronic inflammation. Have you ever noticed or taken note if your body has what we call an intolerance or sensitivity to certain types of food? For example, maybe 10, 15 years ago, I realized whenever I drank milk, I would have a running stomach, which told me that my body was reacting negatively to milk. That's what we would call lactose intolerance. Some people experience like a feeling of either bloatedness after they've eaten gluten, or very like they lose energy after eating bread. that tells your body isn't tolerating gluten. And if that's the case, if there's anything that your body isn't tolerating well, or that your body is sensitive to, that would also cause chronic inflammation to your body, especially if you continue to consume those foods. Another cause of chronic inflammation is if you don't sleep enough hours. I know many people think that they are getting enough sleep when they sleep only 5 or 6 hours. But did you know that your body is supposed to sleep so that you allow your body to repair and to rejuvenate? And in that period of rest, your body is able to deal with chronic inflammation. Another indicator of chronic inflammation is if you work in a highly stressful environment. And if you haven't learned how to deal with that stress, that is probably another cause of chronic inflammation in your life. So if any of these indicators sound familiar, especially if you have more than one of these, then that should tell you that you are probably dealing with a problem of chronic inflammation. And if you begin to address any one of those, then it is more than highly likely that you will begin to lose weight. So let's begin to talk about how do you begin to deal with chronic inflammation. Assess what it is that you eat. If you are consuming sugar, you want to eliminate that, especially refined sugar. What I did was I eliminated sugar altogether from my diet. And the only sugar that essentially I take is from fruit. And even then, I limit my fruit to low sugar fruit. By low sugar fruit, I mean berries and green apples. And at the beginning, that's all I would take. And even then, I would only take a limited quantity. Now, for you who's beginning this journey, you want to decide for yourself, how disciplined are you? If you are disciplined enough, begin a gradual process. Go ahead. I can't tell you what to do, but I can share with you my own journey. And just knowing myself, the easiest thing was to make sure I didn't have sugar in my house. I didn't have all the things that I knew were going to be a temptation. And so I just eliminated sugar cold turkey out of my diet. I stopped eating anything that was cooked with seed oils, and I changed to cooking with coconut oil. The other thing that I needed to do in my own diet was then begin to consume more vegetables. I'm not such a big fan of cooked vegetables, and because I wanted to get as much nutrient into my body, I started consuming a lot of salad, a lot of raw vegetables. And so to reduce your inflammation, that is what is required. A lot of raw vegetables. The raw vegetables neutralize the inflammation, but also neutralize the acidity that comes with inflammation in your body and begins to alkalize your body. So other than vegetables, what else do I consume? I consume a lot of meat, and I know that confuses some people because meat is said to be highly inflammatory. Well, let me define what I mean when I say I do consume a lot of meat. I consume beef and chicken, but all of it is grass-fed meat. And in Kenya, which is where I live, it's hard to define if this is organic meat. But I would say, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and so even as I have gone for blood tests to just check my inflammatory markers are well within normal levels. And so I am comfortable eating grass-fed meat. My meal then tends to be probably a third of a portion of my plate will be meat, and that will be either beef or chicken or fish, no pork. And then the rest of my food is a huge salad. Coming back to how do you reduce weight? Make sure that you're consuming enough vegetables. And what I haven't mentioned about the importance of vegetables is that the vegetables are giving you enough fiber as well to make sure that your body is eliminating regularly, because that's so important in making sure that you are being able to remove all the toxins, because fat in your body also is where your toxins are stored. And so if you've got excess weight, it means you're also probably more than likely also storing up toxins in your body. And so as you reduce that excess fat, then you're also beginning to eliminate the toxins out of your body. Also, when you look at your plate, other than the salad and the meats, recognize that adding starch increases your blood sugar levels, because starch breaks down into sugar. And so typically I only add a starch in one meal of my day. I tend to include the starch in my breakfast so that I have the whole day to work that off rather than having it at the end of the day. Being able to control your blood sugars or take in the starch at the beginning of the day so that your body is able to use all that sugar is important for you to be able to lose weight. In terms of what I was drinking, it meant increasing my intake of water. It meant for me, because I was lactose intolerant and I couldn't deal with drinking black coffee or black tea without sugar, I just eliminated those beverages, started consuming a lot more herbal teas. And so again, you want to decide for yourself. If you're a person who can take black coffee or black tea with no sugar, go ahead. That is okay. But if you're not, begin to decide what beverages you can consume. Another beverage was a lot of vegetable juices. And note that I've talked about vegetable juices and not fruit juice. Now, fruit juice, many people will ask me, what's the problem with fruit juice? Well, fruit juice, when you juice fruits, then we've already talked about that fruits are high in sugar. And because the body isn't able to distinguish between good sugar and bad sugar, fruit juice, the sugars from fruit juice also cause high blood sugar levels. And because you're trying to reduce your blood sugar, you do need to eliminate fruit juice from your diet and begin to replace that with vegetable juice. Now, vegetable juices then are especially good because they are also flooding your body with all the nutrients that you would otherwise not be able to consume in such big quantities by eating just a salad. As you start this journey, look at this as a lifestyle change. It's something that you are able to maintain for the rest of your life. I hope this has given you some tips to begin to help you on your weight loss journey. I look forward to hearing what you have learned from this and what steps you choose to make. If you've enjoyed our video today, please hit that subscribe button, like our video, and I welcome you to continue to share your comments or any other suggestions or questions that you might have on weight loss.